California, $10. Shop.TheSlyShow.com features tons of Javi Picasso songs mixed by DJ Motive, and you got songs like this, which feature Mike Marshall. And I want the whole ride. Go get it now. Shop.TheSlyShow.com. Javifornia. Let's get to the interview.
Bay Area Compass Radio.
All right, here we are. March 22nd, 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest on the line, a triple OG. We have Mike Marshall. Give it up for Mike Marshall. Can we get a hand clap for him, please? Thank you. What's up, Mike?
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. So
nice sound effect.
Yeah, man. I had Yuckmouth on last weekend. You know, he definitely said, you know, love the sound effects. You know, gotta hit all the buttons. So for those of you that may not know, Mike Marshall is an established artist. He's been doing music for many years. I guess most people probably heard about you with the Timex Social Club. Bay Area people through the hyphy movement. I Got 5 on It. You were the voice of I Got 5 on It, man. Was it?
Yes, sir.
What was that like, man? What was that like being the voice of I Got 5 on It?
It took me around the world.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
They know those lyrics more than they know any other lyrics that I have.
Right. Does that, I always like to ask, do you like talking about it as an artist? Do the hits, you know, because you're always constantly trying to put out something new. You know, that's kind of how the business works is, you know, you always want to push what you're doing currently, what's coming up. Do you like talking about hits, or is it something that, it's like something that you did and, you know, do you consider that
I like talking about hits?
Yeah, do you consider that a hit? Do you consider that a hit as far as...
Yes.
Yeah?
I like talking about hits, yeah.
Okay, because I recently saw Tom Hanks on a show, and they were asking him to do like a bunch of Forrest Gump, impressions. Like it was like on some UK show, and he was a little embarrassed to do that, and I was just like, you know.
Oh, they wanted him to do impressions?
Yeah, they wanted him to do impressions.
Yeah, as long as you don't ask me to sing the songs, we good. We can talk about them.
Exactly. So the song that really came to my attention recently. First of all, you know, we've been playing your music for a long time, man. You know,
thank you very much.
We've been playing, you know, So Young, So Sweet. You know, the cut you have with San Quinn. That's a big one right there, man. You know, Breath of Fresh Air. It's a breath of fresh air. You know, that's
340.
Yes. As I explained to you, this is a discussion, man. You know what I mean? So it's not really an interview. It's just us talking, man. It's just you're into sports, right?
Yes.
Warriors, huh? Warriors fan.
Yeah, I was watching the game last night.
Yeah, man. How you feel about the team right now, man?
Oh, we just doing like all regular teams did in the past 7-8 years. They play good during the regular season, and then when it's time for the playoffs, they play great. We've been used to playing great all year and then getting in the playoffs and playing all right. We got lucky one year.
Right.
We can get another ring, you know, and step on that Cleveland head if they make it. Whoever's there, we need them to win again because it's been too much shit talk.
Right. It's a real privilege to have you on, man. You know, a lot of years you put into the game. I think going back to let's go back to we got a little bit of time here, so maybe we could go back to where it all began. Okay. I believe it was at Berkeley High School. Is that correct? Berkeley High School.
Yep. It was a mixologist club. Me and a few friends were in, and from that we wrote some music after we got out of high school. One of my buddies, Marcus Thompson, had some lyrics, and I had a melody that I was working on in one of my piano classes at Laney, and that combination was Rumors. And we performed it in a talent show once as a, when the judges are picking who they thought won earlier in the performance, we were the act to play while they discussed it. We weren't able to compete in the talent show because we had already graduated.
Right.
First time we did was like 85, and we all graduated in 83.
Right. It took about 2 years to make that song. Is that correct?
It didn't take 2 years to make it. It just... Actually, I don't know how long it took to actually make the song, but I remember there wasn't really a press to it. We were roommates, and he talked about it a lot, and I had music, and I was always singing, and he knew me as a singer because I used to sing in those talent shows.
Right.
So just one day we put it together, and then we started fooling around with it. And as time went by, we started to think that it was something that other people should hear, and we wanted to perform it in a talent show. So I can't really say that it took a certain amount of time to do it, but when we got into it, we stayed on it because it was an earworm. It kind of, it was something we were singing when we were out and about, and people were like, "What song is that?"
Yeah. Yeah.
So we decided to put it out there for people to hear.
Yeah. How old were you around this time when you were doing all this?
About 20.
20?
21.
20?
Yeah.
21? Okay.
From all these rumors, can't take it no more.
That is the song right there. And people...
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's it.
People's like, oh, yeah, I know about that song. I know that song. So, lot of rumors... No pun intended. A lot of rumors over the years. People have mistaken that you... I think there's a weird... It's a Club Nouveau. The dynamic between Club Nouveau and Timex Social Club, and rumors being on the Club Nouveau Best of compilation that came out years later. You've never were in Club Nouveau, correct?
No.
Okay.
Club Nouveau was like a go-to group.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who put Club Nouveau together is Jay King. Now, Jay King is one of the people who heard the early 4-track version of Rumors, which pretty much sounds the exact same. It just was on 4-track and had less instruments, but the melodies were the same. So he was a person who heard that during the time when, after that talent show, there was a guy who worked in the Black History department at Berkeley High School named Charles Douglas, and he took a liking to it too, so he played it a lot on one of his, during the summer vacation.
Right.
And when we got back, there was he spoke a lot about how people liked it and blah, blah, blah. And Jay King apparently heard it, and he dug it. And he was the guy who paid for us to go into the studio in Richmond at Starlight to record it on a 24-track so we could press it on vinyl. Because what we wanted was just a record that we can physically have. We were DJs. We were mixologists. So to have our own record to spin at our parties that we were throwing and hanging out at, because that's what we did back then. We danced and we talked about music.
Right.
So that was how Jay King got involved. So Jay takes us to the studio. We record that. He pays for that time. Since we had it on 4-track and I played everything on the Casio, he brought in producers who played and knew how to work MIDI machines. We had a guy, Alex Hill, who did that for us. And so when we went to the studio, these guys added other little touches into what we already had. You would call them producers. That's what they were doing back then. And so we got that record, that vinyl. Jay King took that session and pressed it into vinyl.
Right.
And that's how the song got to be heard nationally, because the song didn't break here in the Bay. It broke in I think that's Houston, Texas, on K-Day radio station. Terry Avery's was a DJ, and she took it upon herself to play it, and she played it and broke it, so it swung back to California, and then it started becoming a real big thing. So Jay King, it's time to make moves. So he comes back to us with a 10-year contract, which didn't really make sense to us. We were young kids, and we wasn't into that the way he presented it to us.
Right.
We were big music fans. I was a huge Mike Jackson fan, and my boy was a huge Prince fan. So we spoke a lot about what they were going through in the industry as far as what we were hearing back then. There wasn't no Twitter and no internet. This was articles and interviews and stuff Prince was saying his music to let us know that the music business wasn't all fun and games. So we balked at the 10-year contract. So he freaked out, and he told us he was going to change the name and tell the world that Timex Watch Company said he had to change the name, and he was going to go get some other people and continue on with that. We didn't really take him serious. a little while later, that Club Nouveau comes out, and Club Nouveau's first song is a cover of our song, Rumors, Jealousy. So that confusion started there. So as we were working with J. King, we knew we were going to eventually have to record more music before he presented that 10-year contract. So I had a few songs that me and Marcus did just fooling around, just like we did with Rumors. And so we presented those to the two guys who were working as his producers, Denzel Foster and Thomas McElroy. Those guys were the ones who co-produced that record, and they are also the producers behind Tony Tony Tony, In Vogue, and the Lucy Pearl project.
Right.
So they hear the other ideas we have, and they take it and they use those ideas for the Club Nouveau project, and that's how you get Situation Number 9 and Why You Treat Me So Bad. Now, Why You Treat Me So Bad is the music that we used for I Got 5 on it.
Right.
But there was always that confusion that Club Nouveau was formerly the Timex Social Club.
Right.
So I was always associated with them, but I was never in that group.
Right. Definitely. And Club Nouveau did a cover to the Lean On Me song. You know, that was
their biggest hit. Yeah,
that was a big one.
That was their biggest hit.
Yes, definitely. So was jealous again? No pun intended here. Was Jealousy a diss record? Like, was that a diss to you?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Okay.
I never really paid attention to it, but yeah, there was a lot of animosity and bitterness going on right at that time. Yeah. I'm sure if I listened to it and listened to the lyrics, it probably is.
Yeah. If being in a game, as long as you, and I use that word, and I saw Marcus Thompson quote say that a lot of the hip hop cats these days, they use that word, the game, but they're not having so much fun with it. So I use it because I'm a little younger than you, but being in the business, as long as you've been in, what can you say is the hardest part about being? If you had to go back, what do you think? What can you tell a young Mike Marshall is going to be the hardest part of being in a group? Is it
try to please everyone?
Yeah.
That would be the hardest part. But I'd also tell myself to go see a lawyer. Yeah. I tell myself it doesn't matter if you don't have any money. Go see a lawyer. You're a commodity, and there's people who are trying to take advantage of you as a commodity. Go see a lawyer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a big one, Timex Social Club, and from there, where'd you go? What was the next step after you said?
Well, what happened was when Club Nouveau, when J. King told us that he wanted us for 10 years and that he was going to go search for another group, we got a little worried, and we were trying to figure out how to monetize what we did have. So that guy, Charles Douglas, introduced us to a guy from Walnut Creek from Dania Records, the label that Dougie Fresh is on. His name is David Lucchese. Lucchese came onto the scene to help us fight for what was ours from Rumors from J. King. But he also had a plan that he wanted to do a follow-up album to Rumors, since he had the singer, since there was no album out there, and everybody wanted a follow-up album. So, with trickery, he signed all three of us, me, Marcus Thompson, Alex Hill, and even my buddy Kevin Moore. Kevin wasn't a writer or on the creative side of it, but when we met Dave Lucchese, he won us over by asking us if we wanted to perform the song at the Raising Hell tour that was in town. So he wanted to show us he had pull. So he got us on there, and we did the song. We opened for, that's when the Beastie Boys didn't make the run out here to the west and to the south. So it was just Run DMC, Houdini, LL Cool J, and us. Usually back then, you would have to buy on to a show like that. And that would be the norm. If you didn't have an established song out, or you wasn't established, people didn't know who you were, you'd have to buy on. But they asked us to come on the tour to replace Beastie Boys because we had the #1 song at that time. It was bigger than any of those artists' song at that time. So we get on there and we do that show. We kill it. They love it. And one of the guys signs a 15-show deal with them at a whack price. So we end up going out on the road. So now we come back after that 15 shows, and that's a whole nother story. We come back, and now the record company's like, well, okay, we need to do a record. We need to do a record, so come on, let's get in the studio. We go in and we try, and there's not really creativity flowing because it was only me and Marcus who was doing it. Now there's 4 guys, and they're trying to force us to do something, and it wasn't really working. But I had more songs in my head that I had been working on. So they were trying to focus on me since I was the singer and I had more songs. So there was a clause that the other guys had stipulated with Dave Lucchese that if they tried to put me out front, they would leave the band.
Right.
So he wanted them to leave the band. So when the artwork came back for the project that they wanted us to do, it said Timex Social Club featuring Mike Marshall, and so they quit. Long story short, I'm left to do the album. So I had to do an album, and I worked with a guy named Jay Logan. Did a bunch of songs, 16 songs, for the Timex Social Club album featuring Michael Marshall. People can look that up. And what happened was Dave Lucchese is an A&R guy from Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers who signed Club Nouveau. So now Club Nouveau, and they got those great producers, Denzel and Thomas, but I don't know why they needed it, but my guy made me hurry up to do my album, gave me a month, hurry up and do it, and then he sat on it for 3 months. Come to find out, he gave that master to Club Nouveau and let them study it, so that's why a lot of their stuff sounds like my stuff. They just don't have the singer, and Jay King was trying to do some vocals too. I think that might have messed some things up.
Right. You still talk to him?
That's what I was doing. I was trying to get that album done, so I did that, and then there was this whole blackball thing that happened. I couldn't get my stuff played. I mean, I had videos from London producers. I was on a label that had international connections, and we were doing things, but we couldn't get any traction. So I came back here to the Bay and in short, started doing drugs and not really doing the music as seriously as I had been before, and that wasn't really serious. It was like a hobby thing. Yeah. But that time passed by, and one of my high school buddies, Anthony Gilmore, known as Tone Capone, he was working with some young cats from Oakland, 3 Times Crazy. So I did some stuff with him to make money. Right. So I worked with 3 Times Crazy on a few songs, Riding Around in the Sunshine we did, and a couple of other ones, In the Name of Rain, one of my favorite ones. And that led us to the Luniz, another group of young cats from Oakland who had skills, and they were doing their thing. So Tone called me one day, and he says, they want to redo Why You Treat Me So Bad. They love that music. He said, let's replay it, let you replay it, and then you can get some publishing where you don't have publishing on Why You Treat Me So Bad right now. I was like, oh, okay. See, the thing about Why You Treat Me So Bad, that's a copy of a song called Thinking About You, which is one of my hits that charted from the Timex Social Club, and that was one of the songs on that album, along with a song called This World Is All Mixed Up. There's a video for that and for Rumors, but the Thinking About You doesn't, so it's kind of an underground, kind of West Coast kind of classic. Right. So that's my connection that my buddy was referring to when he wanted me to play and get publishing from Why You Treat Me So Bad, since I didn't have it and I deserved it. So I did that, and the kids had a hook that needed some work as far as timing and some words, and I was the guy who was there to do it. And then I sang that, and it worked. I knew as soon as we finished it, it was a hit, though. But I when I told them that, everybody kind of balked at me saying that because, like I say, I was doing drugs. I think they might have been looking at me as Mike tripping. He was looking to get more money. Yeah. Because that's how they came at me after that. When Chris Hicks, the people who are in charge, him and his lawyers. But that's neither here or there. The point I was trying to make was that was my connection with I Got Five on it as a writer and claiming it as my own. I've never performed with those guys.
Never?
With to do that song. I was in Europe once, and Yuck was there, but never performed with them together. I wasn't even there together when we did the video. The night they shot my part, that one little part I was in, was only at the beginning. See, I think there was like the guys in charge were a little bitter at me because I was seeing it and I called it. They made fun of it, and then it started happening.
Right.
And then they were like, "Oh, I think this is going to be big. We do not have to cut that kid in. He's not really in his right mind." That kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, thank you for clarifying that up. A lot of, again, it's crazy how much rumors there's been circulating around your name and, Timex Social Club and Club Nouveau. As far as, you mentioned that you got on drugs and stuff like that. A lot of people have said over the years, through message boards that, it was all basically together. It was like the drugs were because why Timex Social Club split up, and there was there's been a lot of rumors as far as those in that era, as far as what went
That's
down.
why I'm trying to do a book, trying to do a movie.
Yeah, you trying to do a movie? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. For those of you that don't know,
It's like
are you a one-take Jake type guy, or does it take you multiple takes? What's your creative process when?
Well, it's never one take, Jake, because I'm as a Libra.
As a Libra.
As a Libra and a guy out front, there's a lot of doubt that floats around. So
right.
A lot of folks have had me do it in one take, and they liked it and all that, but I'm always do it again.
Right.
But it never takes me more than a half hour to do anything.
Yeah, definitely. You're a big proponent on marijuana smoke these days. Let me ask you a couple questions about this, because this is I think it's an interesting topic. When people say that weed is legal, I guess someone who is not well informed is very happy. But once you get into the specifics, the government is patenting, certain strains. I know you're a pretty deep dude. You're a pretty deep dude as far as the way you feel about the world and the way you present yourself to people, and you're not afraid to speak your mind, and that's one thing I do respect about you. Following you on social media over the years, last couple of years at least, I always said he'd be good on the TheSlyShow because you seem like a real open-minded type of guy. You had mentioned that you were
That's me.
You were addicted to drugs in the early 90s, late 80s. How do you feel about marijuana being legal in California?
Well, it's only kind of legal. I mean, the federal government still looks at it as it's not legal. So all this stuff that they're saying, it's kind of a facade. I mean, to keep it real. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm a farmer, so it's kind of cool in some senses that the states say it's legal in this way and this way and this way, because then we can be compliant in this way and this way and this way, and not have that fear that they coming. But in reality, the feds still can come. So it's a constant fear that kind of lingers here, in that industry.
Right.
But as far as the medicine getting to people, that it being legal has made that way easier, and that's a good thing. Right. But we just have to be careful because not everybody. We already know that everybody doesn't feel that it's not as serious as other things, or that it even has medical properties. So they're going to be looking at ways to shoot it down. So that means they're going to be making some examples of people. Mm-hmm. So if there was one thing I would tell people, man, just be careful smoking and driving now. It's not like it was back in the day. They're going to try to use that to lock people up, right, and to make it close to alcohol, so they can do all the things that they do to us behind alcohol. Yeah. Getting money out of us when I say do to us. Yeah.
Definitely. You think they would? You think as far as population control? I mean, we could get real deep here. We could get real deep. A lot of people have suggested that population control might be, something that the government might be involved with. I don't know how you are with conspiracies and as far as like that, but with them,
I haven't really heard too much about that aspect. I mean, I've heard it in passing, but
you said you're
not deep enough to speak on it.
Right.
Population. Wow.
You said you were a farmer.
Unless you're speaking of like locking us up.
Well, you know, population control as far as spraying. You know, if the government has patents, you know, Marlboro wants to start coming out with, you know, their own packs of Marlboro cigarettes, but they're not going to be cigarettes; they're going to be weed. You know, I don't know if you've heard about that. So you could go into the store, and you know, it's. I've talked to a lot of different people about cigarettes, what the original idea for cigarettes were, and then over time, you know, they started adding all these like chemicals into the cigarettes to make you more addicted. You know.
Are selling marijuana behind the counter in packages like cigarettes?
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy any of that.
Yeah.
That's probably, just like you say, that's not going to be cool. They need it to still be done on the small scales and not get the corporations involved, because corporations is about bigger and better and faster, and that's going to take chemicals. Right. And I'm an organic farmer. I'm on God's clock, and I'm trying to do it as natural as possible. I mean, before we started messing with it, it grew on the side of the roads. It was huge. I mean, because it's a weed. It grows. It wants to grow. Right. Just give it some love and some water and some nutrients, the things that they naturally need, potassium, nitrogen, calcium, and the plant's going to do what it do. But, people, there's different personalities out there. Right. There are people who want it to be bigger, better, and grow faster. Yeah. So they can make more money. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of different tweaks on them. That's why I'm trying to get my niche in there with the connoisseurs. Just like cigars. Cigars are going to be cigars are kind of like a high end of cigarettes. More expensive is still tobacco, but there's less preservatives in them. Things that are hand rolled are more expensive. They're not being put together by machines and preservatives added to it. That's the kind of weed that I'd like to grow, and that's the community that I'd like to be involved in, so it can be the same that it was. And it just comes when it comes, and when it's not any around, it's not any around. You have to wait. I mean, growth season is only like 6 months out of the year. Then the rest of the year we have to smoke on what we grew, unless you do it indoor, and then that's another thing, though. I'm not hating on indoor, but that's a whole other thing. I grow on God's cock. Right. So,
right. Definitely. Mike Marshall's a farmer. You know what I mean? That's a breath of fresh air, man. That's a breath of fresh air.
Hey, so you going to play some music also in the podcast?
Yeah, man. We do whatever you want, Mike. This is an open discussion. We got new music. We got classics. We got everything Mike Marshall in here, man. You know, one of my favorite songs that you ever did was Let's Celebrate. Surf Talk. E40, you know, I like that. This is a SlyShow classic right here, man, and you know, this is good music by Mike Marshall. You definitely make this song, man.
Yeah, 40 them, they call me all the time.
Yeah? What was the first?
I got like 4, 5, or 6 with them.
Yeah, how did the E40 thing? Because in between, there was a certain period. I mean, I know you did the I Got 5 on it, and you were a local guy out of Berkeley. At what point did E40 reach out to you, or how did that all come to be? What was the first song you did post I Got 5 on it, as far as Bay Area is concerned?
Oh, the first one after I Got 5 on it. Oh, that's a deep one. It might have been something that you guys hadn't heard. Let me see. I Got 5 on it, 95. Oh, bro. No, yeah. Wait. After I Got 5 on it took off, I went to Germany, and I was over there for 3 years.
Oh, okay.
I was writing over there, so there wasn't nothing coming out from me. Right. From anybody. I hadn't done anything with him. But when I got back from Germany, I networked with another buddy from high school named Nick Reese, and he had a label called $1 Million Dream. He worked with Andre Nicotino.
Oh, okay.
So, like I say, I was doing the drugs, but I was still trying to hustle money. Right. So I was singing in a band called the Professionals. We were really good, so we had a lot of shows. So that paid the rent. But when I went to Germany, I left that band. So when I got back, I was trying to figure out how to wiggle. So I never was one that was into the Bay Area raps. I wasn't really listening, I have to be honest. I was a DJ, so my first I was inundated with the East Coast rap because I was a DJ and we were getting those records. I wasn't getting the records from the artists that were out here, and if I did, I mean, I can't lie. I must have been hating because I wasn't really listening to him. I wasn't listening to E40, Mac Dre, like people like Sebo, Sally Sale, all these artists that I know of now, that I listen to and know their history. I was just passing them by.
Right.
So I didn't have any network. So that Nick Reese guy, he worked with a lot of different artists. So when I made it known that I was singing and available and I had a price, he put me together with a lot of folks. So I think the very first thing I might have did was a cover of Rumors called He Said, She Said with Andre Nicotina on $1 Million Dream.
Oh, okay.
And as that progressed and I started doing other things for people, I got following a connection was through the drug game. Some folks who I knew who were doing their money in music, I would do hooks for them, and that would hook me up with other people. I got a song with Corrupt I did at a studio with that connection. So that opened up doors to a whole nother field. So 40 reached out to me around that time. Through his manager. I knew his manager. That's what it was, Kerry. Kerry put together. So he called me to do one thing, and then I did that one, and it was good, and he liked it, so he called me a bunch of times after that.
Right. Definitely, man. Definitely. A lot of game, man. A lot of game. Are you still cool with Marcus Thompson, or do you guys talk at all?
Yes.
Okay.
We have a reunion every year.
Okay.
I missed one, but yeah, we still talk.
Have you read his book, The True Story of the Timex Social Club?
I was reading it, and I'm a recovering addict, and I got 12 years now. So some things trigger me because, like I say, that back in that time was we bumped heads on direction and what I thought we deserved and things like that. And I lost my train of thought thinking about Marcus. What was the question again?
Well, I have ADHD like a motherfucker over here. I just think like you guys cool. I think that's why I asked.
Oh yeah, we're definitely cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you asked about the book. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the book.
Started to read it, but I was a little apprehensive because, like I said, those times were turbulent. But then I got to the part about the song "Thinking About You" that I was talking to you earlier about. And this is like a SlyShow exclusive. In my mind, because the song was written about me and my wife April back when we were younger, when we first broke up, I was like heartbroken. And music, I guess, helped me get over that. Marcus wrote those words, but they fit it. The story so perfect. Over time, I thought that I had written those words because it was so personal. Right. But no, Marcus and I wrote that song, and I just recently realized that after reading that in the book. But I ran across it, and it blew my mind, and I bucked against it for a while, but my memory started coming back, and I remember that. And I also remember why I think that it thought that it was mine. The guy, Charles Douglas, was my manager at the time, so he's the manager of all of us. And as we started bumping heads and separating, he made some choices because I was just singing. I wasn't doing any of the administrative business stuff. I was doing mostly only creative stuff. And that's one of the things I would tell my younger self, too, if I could go back. Bro, this is your thing. They all work for you. You can fire any of them at any time. You don't have to be afraid of them. You don't have to be afraid of what you want to say. And when they bark, you can bark back or you can fire them. But I was a timid kid. I didn't have no dad around. I was raised by my mom. So that aspect I was really at a disadvantage of back then. But yeah, I just I didn't remember it that way because when we did the credits for the Timex Social Club album, and it was definitely says written by Michael Marshall. It did not say Marcus Thompson. Right. Yeah, but yeah, I read up to that part, and I never finished the book. But yeah, I hear it's pretty good. But I lived it, so I'm going to tell my own. So I didn't want to read too far and then kind of get the way he did it in my head too heavily because I'm right in the middle of trying to do my own.
Yeah, I mean, anytime there's a biopic put out, it's from someone's perspective, it's a point of view, and if it's not your point of view, it can you might not agree with it. It might be true. I've talked to David
Right.
Ruffin. There was David Ruffin's someone from his family listens to my show sometimes, and I asked him. I says, was the Temptations movie, was it on point? And he's like, yeah, pretty much. You know what I mean? So I mean, you never know. I mean, you hear a lot of these biopics coming out where people don't agree with certain details. People try to curve things for Hollywood. But you've definitely given us a lot today, man. This is great. This is great. We got Mike Marshall up on the SlyShow. Bay Area Compass, right? You aware of Bay Area Compass? It's a big blog out here in the Bay.
Yes, I am. When you told me about that earlier, I was like, oh, okay, so some folks going to hear this.
Yeah, shout out to
Hey,
Lex.
the reason I asked about the music earlier, because when we were talking about the marijuana and politics and the future of it, that song that I sent you, Why I Get High,
Yeah, I got it right here.
it speaks to that.
Let's get to it, man. Right now, is this coming out? Is this out or is it coming out? What's the?
When we come back, we're going to talk about what I've been doing
There we
since
go.
I got sober. And there's a bunch of albums, and this is from one of the albums called In the Meantime and In Between Time, and it features Opio, and
Okay.
it's called Why I Get High.
All right, here we go. Brand new music. Mike Marshall.
Bay Area Compass Radio.
Yeah, you can't be me and I don't wanna be you. So let me smoke my weed in peace, the drama is through. I'm cool on this shit right now. My mama knew I'm hard-headed and spark heavy like Papa Wu. OG with the kush, you can give me evil looks and stares. I still won't pass the blunt, I'm not a fool. There's many different ways to absorb the conflict. Me, I smoke bomb with the homies at concerts. My heart full of sorrow, but I celebrate life. For the brothers who ain't here and that will never see light. Or my firstborn son, and it hurts sometimes, but I gotta keep going cause my verse gon' shine. Be inspired by the sacred herb, I make my words heard throughout the planet, that's how I manage. The world is a cannabis cup, god damn it I puff, so put it in the air, man I can't get enough. What's up?
And this game is so cold that some still wonder why am I so high? And I wonder how come you ain't high? Love of man, my heart can get cold. Sometimes I have to stay high. Where do you reside? Where you ain't gotta be high. First they told me, well, that I wasn't born here and equal. Then they showed me that their thinking hasn't changed. Next they told me that I had a right to vote to change things. Then they showed me that my vote ain't worth a damn thing. Now I take this to work with me, walks down the street with me. Later on at night, when it's really dark, it hops in bed with me. And not to mention my own past bad decisions weigh heavy on me, and I'm trying to get far, far away. And this game is so cold that some still wonder why am I so high? And I wonder how come you ain't high? Love of man, my heart can get cold. Sometimes I have to stay high. Where you reside, where you ain't gotta be high. That's where I wanna go.
Oh, hit the islands of Hawaii, it's tropical. Just to get away, still I'm high or phenomenal. Ganja top of the class, that shit hit the honor roll. A plus 4.0 in Colorado, blew the half so smooth and fool, it's not an auto-tune. God-given talent is balancing bad vehicle of music. We the ones who use it, improving the times we live in. See, the truth is I don't be stressing, going and grabbing a Smith & Wesson. Revolutionary mind in a recession, no question. I blow trees with my brethren, build and learn a lesson, still having questions. Chill with the master teacher, past the reefer, back to the streets of Oakland, police is loking up. As for me, I'm smoking blunts, wet paying close attention cause I know what's up. Yeah.
Bay Area Compass Radio.
Still wonder why. Yeah, they still wonder why. Love of man, my heart can get cold. Sometimes I have to stay high. Where you reside, where you ain't gotta be high. That's where I wanna go.
The SlyShow.
It's so cold and y'all still wonder why am I so high? Y'all tripping, how come you ain't high? Tell me, so tell me, where do you reside? When you ain't gotta be high, that's where I wanna go, bitches.
Play that slap.
Good music, man. Good song right there, man. I like that. Brand new.
Thank you.
Brand new Mike Marshall. Long time in the game, man. I always tell people, it's funny when people say, I'm going to retire. They say, I'm done doing this creative thing. It's no longer part of me. And I always tell people, man, you can't retire from creativity. It's part of your soul, man. It's part of your make.
It's pretty much. I've tried.
Do you feel more creative being older than you did when you were 20 and you were in those meetings with, Timex Social Club? Do you feel more creative? Does your creative process? How do you feel? I mean,
since the Timex thing, I've learned a bunch of skills. And at that time, all I could do was play the piano. I didn't even know how to use any of those keyboards and all that stuff. I'm a producer now. I can use all that. I can make a song from scratch. But my creativity, it's pretty much been the same. If I can sit down and be quiet, I can take the things that come to my head every day and form them into something so I can get some things done. The last project I did, Right Where I'm Supposed to Be, it took maybe 2 years. Beginning of the project is right when I separated from my wife, and I had the ideas, and I was like, okay, so this is going to be my Here, My Dear to my ex-wife, just not as bitter as the Marvins, because it was amicable, right? So I started that project in my head, but it just took 2 years to finally get that stuff onto tape, because the words was not just some empty party of the moment type stuff. I wanted it to mean something and say something. So it took a little while longer. But then there are other projects like this continuous thing I do with my partner Equipto, the KIM projects, Keep It Moving. When we do those, once we sit down and get into a lab, we knock those out pretty fast. I mean, we have the actual instrumentals for a long time, but then when we finally sit down and be like, man, we gotta get it done. Let's make a deadline. Get it done. It just gets knocked out. Right. It doesn't take long.
Quipto's a real powerful dude, man. You know what I mean? He was involved in the San Francisco deal last year where they were very mad.
Yeah, the hunger strike.
Yeah, the hunger strike. Mario Woods and, all this police brutality. What's the young man? Alex Nieto, you know what I mean? I'm Mexican, so you hear the little, the pronunciation.
It's all good.
You know what I mean? No, I Quipto, man. There's a lot of respectable for that, man. A lot of people on social media. How do you feel about social media? I mean, you're on Instagram. What's your take on social media? Because, when you was coming up when you were 20 years old, coming out of high school, social media wasn't around, man. It was the radio station.
We only had to use the phones in the house.
Yeah. How do you feel about social media, man? Do you embrace it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think
I got into social media after I got married for promotion. Buddy from $1 Million Dream, he was using that media. That's how you promote in regions that you're coming to or that you're outside of. And it was working for him, and I was trying to follow his motto. So I got a MySpace page and tried to get things going with that, and it kind of helped a little bit. And I think social media has introduced me to people who aren't around here who know the song and know the songs that I do, and were getting misinformation and wanted to know, because I spent a lot of time on social media explaining this story to people who aren't hating and ain't throwing shade, but they put misinformation, so then I correct them, and then they want to know the story, so then I tell them, and then they're on my team, and that's how my social media pretty much is. It's just folks who can follow me, because this is the only place where you can really keep up with what I'm doing and find out what I'm doing. I mean, I don't have a record company behind me promoting. I'm independent, but don't have nowhere near the kind of budget for marketing, because I'm not selling any units. No one's buying my music.
Yeah.
Somehow they hear it all, but it's not tallying up that way. My music is on iTunes, it's on CD Baby, and the only sales I get is when I go in the boxes and send out a CD to someone who wants to buy a few copies in Germany or Japan or in Lenore, North Carolina. Lenore, North Carolina, just recently I found out that they remembered and loved the song Thinking About You that we spoke of earlier, and that is their town theme song. I went out there last June and did a show. It blew my mind. They knew every single lyric and riff that I sang to the point where I didn't really have to sing.
Yeah.
Blew my mind.
Yeah. A lot of similarities. And, you know, I've been doing this since 04. Started interning around 02, 94.9 Clear Channel. Swagger, you know, being swagger jacked. You know, that's something that I've had to deal with in my career, you know, doing different skits. We're a funny thing, you know, we do a lot of prank calls and skits and stuff like that. And I've heard multiple different radio hosts around the country, around the world, really, you know, take some of the bits that I've done. You know, we talk about, you know, and I totally understand where you're coming from as far as someone else taking your work and putting their name on it, repackaging it. Because that seems that's the corporate America thing in 2017. You know, the people aren't being innovative anymore. They're just taking what's already been done before and they're just repackaging it. You know, and
that's big business in the corporate way. What worked before? Let's do that. We're afraid of anything new. We can't just do anything. We have to try something from pride somewhere at least a little bit, and then we can get behind it.
Yeah, and you know, on the whole topic of being blackballed, I mean that's another one because you know being blackballed, especially when it's on a industry level type thing, is you know you want to be professional, you want to talk to people, you know, cordially, and you know when a lot of shady business is going on behind the scenes, it's like wow.
Right. That's why it's hard to, and it has been hard for me to kind of win and get back in there in the sense of on a bigger scale. Let me talk about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've heard the rumors and even been in meetings with executives when that rumor about drugs came out. I'm so open about what I've been through. People associate their own timeline to it. I didn't start using to the point where it was detrimental until after real close to I got 5 on at times, like around the 90s. I mean, I experimented before that, but I wasn't missing sessions. There was no reason for me to be blackballed behind drugs because I wasn't missing anything, and I wasn't heavy into it until it started to make sense that they were blackballing me. So I told you earlier about my guy from Daniel Records, Dave Lucchese, being an A&R guy for Warner Brothers. Now, check this out. If Warner Brothers is being sold a bill of sale that says that they have the voice and the creativity of the Timex Social Club, who have this #1 hit in the UK, and it's #3 here in America, and starting to go down, they want to follow up. If they believe that they have that group, if it's proven that they don't, they look like fools. So now Club Nouveau is pretending to be that, and Warner Brothers believed it and bought it. So now they're starting to find out because the creativity time coming in, and I told you they had my album and they copied it. Most of the songs that are on their album are a copy of the ideas that I had. And some are blatant copies, like Thinking About You is a blatant copy. Why You Treat Me So Bad is a blatant copy of Thinking About You, and Jealousy is a blatant copy of Rumors. So now, one of the facts I don't think people know is that Benny Medina was the executive producer. So he was really big at that time. The Fresh Prince and all that stuff that he was doing, he was the man. So if it got out that he made a mistake in the music part of it, with this new thing that he was doing, that was going to bring a little shame to him, so they wasn't going to let me in. And if the excuse that I was doing drugs was going to be the reason, man, everybody does drugs in the music industry. That's not the reason to blackball me. I think it was because of my manager's very aggressive nature, because he was pissed that all this was going on. And he's a dude from L.A., and he was not very happy about what was going on. He might have been too aggressive. I got that a little bit sometimes, but nothing that I didn't sabotage my career. They weren't letting me back in.
Right.
And the one time where I was almost back in there after I got clean and everybody knew that I was sober and married. And You're So Young song, that was on my album.
Oh, yeah?
Quinn to the radio station and told him it was his.
Yeah.
They believed him. They started playing it like it was a Stan Quinn song featuring Mike Marshall. That was my comeback song.
Oh, okay.
So KMEL, they kind of screwed me over a little bit too. And blame it on me not showing up for some kind of interview that they tell me about last minute that's early in the morning? No, how am I going to get there? I'm married now. I don't live just living freely like that. I got to get out. And a recovering addict, too. I can't just go anywhere on the spur of the moment like that. I'm trying to stay clean. I'm not going back.
Right.
There are rules in place. I missed that opportunity, and then it starts coming back to me that they don't think you're serious and you shouldn't win. But these are all youngsters telling me this bullshit. I lived it way before that.
Mm-hmm.
I saw they didn't play Rumors here when it first came out. It had to come from somewhere else. That's the Bay.
Mm-hmm.
The Bay's history is like that.
Mm-hmm.
People are trying to win. This is not New York. This is not L.A.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in any aspect of the business, you're going to follow the model that wins in other places.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not as popular as New York and L.A.
Right.
In their eyes,
right.
We're just us.
Right.
We're colleagues, families, and friends. There's nothing special about us. So you got to do something real. Look how long it took E40 to get to where he is, where they'll play some of his stuff now. E40's been great from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
Classic from here.
Yeah.
That was our guy.
Yeah.
Same thing with Too Short. Too Short stuff they started playing later in life, well, after all the politics and all that. But other places were playing it. All the excuses are here. The Bay Area, man. The radio game is weird, and
yeah.
I'm not the kind that wants to jump through hoops like that.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, I might have sabotaged myself a little bit with that by not being flexible with what they want me to do, because I don't like being on stage.
You don't
shows.
Yeah.
If that's part of promotion. That's cool, but just to come out in the middle of a week to where a DJ is spinning to come to what? Man, I'm not a dancer. I'm a singer.
Mm-hmm.
What am I doing? I didn't understand all that. I wasn't into all that.
Yeah.
I was trying to be as minimalistic in it as possible, because I heard about some of the pitfalls and all that. I have family members who are addicts. I didn't know too much about it at the time, but I wish I had never tried it from the beginning.
Yeah.
But I'm still here, though.
Yeah, definitely. So Young, So Sweet. Another, like I said, you said that was on your album. This is definitely, I think a lot of people who listen to TheSlyShow.com, Bay Area Compass, they're going to know about this one. You know.
From the Love, Lies, and Life album. That's the album I did after I got out of recovery.
Yeah.
2005.
Yeah. Definitely, man. Definitely. Let's get to another song that you're pushing right now, man. We got.
I'm pushing this one. You were talking about my partner, Equipto, and Frisco 5. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to draw attention to the murders of innocent civilians by the police. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to start a movement called Riders for. It's called RIDE, and it stands for React, Investigate, Document, and Expose. And the idea is that when we see police make contact with civilians, pull out your phone and start filming it, and film it to completion.
Yeah.
Don't be aggressive, because they're already probably in a nervous state, and your hands pointing at them with something dark could get you hurt because you know they're afraid. So I suggest you bring it to your chest and film it, and if there's more than one of you, get better angles, because we're being told when it's time to get indictments for these murders of these innocent civilians that they don't have enough footage to see what happened here, or they didn't have the right angle to see what happened there. So I'm trying to get people to stop taking pictures of their food and themselves all in the bathroom 100 million times. Mm-hmm. And while you're out, just become a reporter. Cop watch. It's really important. They're killing people. They could kill someone you know, and they probably already have. Yeah. So the song is called Tonight, and tonight we ride for the ones who might die at the hands of the police. That's the theme of the song. And there's a video for it up right now, and that's the song that I sent you. If you could, I'd like you to play that.
Yeah, definitely, man. Let's get to it. BayAreaCompass Radio, TheSlyShow.com. Mike Meeezy, the legend. You are the legend, by the way. Not a legend.
Thank you, sir.
Not a legend, the legend. You know.
Thank you, sir.
When you think of, yeah. I got so much respect for you, man. That's why, like, when we were having these discussions on Instagram, I'm like, man, this is just dope talking to you, man, for real. And I know you have a lot of game, and we got to do this again, man. We got to do this again, man. I would love
maybe Compass and us can partner up and get this book written or get this movie done.
Yeah, maybe.
I know all the players are all here in the Bay Area or L.A. We can talk to all of them, let them tell their side, and we just edit it together. Right. I ain't trying to be right. I'm just trying to tell my side.
Would you be open to a documentary? Because we're getting into that. Like
that's the way to do it.
A Mike Marshall documentary?
Yes. Look at all these rumors.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, if you're going to do a documentary on New Edition and that era, and my song is in it. You know that song is part of the era. There's things that people don't even know that was behind the scenes. Those songs that Bobby Brown did, that Teddy Riley wrote for him, I believe they were for me. Some of those songs were for me.
Yeah.
But people couldn't get past my manager. Now, this is something I've heard out there in the industry.
Back in, you said 85, rubbing shoulders with a lot of celebrities, huh? Like you guys were on top of the world?
A couple. We went to the award shows. We went to the Soul Train one, and I think the other one was the American Music Awards. But other than that, I wasn't really hanging out.
Right.
I didn't mingle or meet anyone. Back then, not that I remember.
Would you say Libras? You say you're a Libra. Are Libras introverted?
Some are.
Yeah.
I'm not really introverted. I've just seen so much stuff out and about at that, because like I said, from 21, I've been performing in places all over the place, and I've seen a lot of different things that humans do to other humans, and I don't like seeing those things. Those are triggers. Right. So I'm not trying to be no place that's going to trigger me.
Right. All right, let's get to it. Tonight we ride. We'll come back, close it out. The legend, Mike Meeezy.
Bay Area Compass Radio.
The realism that police bias training could work when you have so many incidents like Tony Robinson,
Freddie Gray,
Walter Scott,
Sandra Bland,
Eric Garner.
somebody who gets shot next month.
Tonight we gon' ride for Tony Robinson. Tonight we ride for Alex Nieto and Dalton Sterling. Tonight we gon' ride for Oscar Grant, Philando Castillo. Yeah, we gon' ride for the ones who might die tonight at the hands of the police.
Oh, not to reach for it. I told him to get his hand out.
Oh my God, please don't tell me he's dead.
Man, I'm dead. 10 minutes ago, on the streets of Frisco, I was murdered. Yeah, they shot me in my back and left me undercover. And as I bled out, all they did was calling in. Someone yelled freeze, and I guess I moved. 'Cause the next thing that I felt was lead burn through me. Spun me around, and now with their faces glaring, voices screaming, don't move. I died so confused. What did I do? Tonight we ride for Tamir Rice and Alex Nieto. Tonight we ride for Walter Scott and Mario Woods. Tonight we ride for Sandra Bland, Freddie Gray, and Eric Garner. Yeah, we gon' ride for the ones who might die tonight. At the hands of the police.
Come on. It's hands up, don't shoot. We take it to court, the jury says no proof. We ain't waiting for the verdict, it's like we already heard it. So tonight we ride for all of those that got murdered amongst us. D-boys and the hustlers coming together to seek justice for sisters and brothers no longer here. No proper burial, so we take it upon ourselves for ritual, ceremonial dances for the ancestors. Saging the gravesite, healing with the family, but knowing that it takes time. Building harmony within this solidarity. Apply code of ethics and transparency. We want a revolution, and moments turn to movements. Supported by the OGs, but led by the students. It's a must, we gon' put aside our differences. So when the time comes, we uprise and finish this.
Tonight we ride for Tamir Rice and Alex Nieto. Tonight we ride for Walter Scott and Mario Woods. Tonight we ride for Sandra Bland, Freddie Gray, and Eric Garner. Yeah, we gon' ride for the ones who might die tonight at the hands of the police. Check his head was the last thing that I heard before I passed over. But my last thoughts went out to my sister and my brother. 'Cause it's them that's gonna have to tell my mother. I heard the freeze, but I did move. Raise my hands, don't shoot. I was confused, but unarmed. So why did these shoot? Ooh,
BayAreaCompass Radio.
Could someone please tell me why them so scared? Tonight we ride for Tamir Rice and Alex Nieto. Tonight we ride for Walter Scott and Mario. Why you so scared of me? Tonight we ride for Sandra Bland, Freddie Gray, and Eric Garner. Yeah, we'll ride for the ones who might die tonight at the hands of the police. Why you so scared of me? Why you so scared of me? Why you so scared of me?
Yes. That's a good song, man. Like it.
Why you so scared of us? Ride for me.
That's how you got to do it, man. That's how you got to do it. You know, speaking that real shit, man. I was recently walking around Bernal Hill, and I saw a little area where they have dedicated to Alex Nieto, and you know, it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. And there's a lot of things that we didn't talk about in this hour, but we're gonna save that for the next time. You know, I would love to have you back on whenever. You know, we could talk about your, you know, and you know, we're real DJs around here. You know, you said you use the term mixologist, and you know, we're constantly making our own 8-bar intros. I'm big on 8-bar intros, you know, because a lot of DJs don't DJ these days. You know, what they do is they do these drop mixing where they just throw songs together with sound effects in between. And I go big on sound effects, but we're real DJs, like, you know, doing the 8-bar. That's a Bay thing too, you know. Right. What can you say about?
That's what I grew up on.
Yeah, I know. That's why when you use the term mixologist, I was like, okay. Because
when we listened to the radio, it was Michael Erickson back in the day.
Yeah, rest in peace. You know. He's,
oh my God, he passed away.
Yes, he did.
Oh wow, that's a legend right there, bro.
Yeah. That's
how we got our music, and he and I were supposed to go together at the parties. Michael Erickson. Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah. So
but there's still some OGs from back in the day. Some guys working in Santa Rosa and Sacramento.
Yeah.
Still doing the things. I can't remember all the names, but they used to show me love.
Oh yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Where can they follow you on social media, man? Whatever you want.
I'm on Facebook under Michael Marshall, Michael Marshall, aka Mike Meeezy. Okay. A long little thing. I'm on Instagram under the Mike Meeezy, Mikemeeezy. Twitter, it's Mike Meeezy, and my website is michaelmarshallusa.com.
Got it.
So check me out there, and we got the new project that tonight's song is coming off of. It's the continuation of the KIM project. This is 2.5, and that'll be done on the 26th, and we'll be uploading that and getting it out there. You can find my stuff on iTunes too. Just Google me. When you Google me, it pops up. It's me.
Yep. Definitely. Mike Marshall, thank you for the time, man. This was great. I'm glad that you clarified everything that you clarified, and you know, like I said, it's all respect. You've been doing it for years. You are pretty much the voice of the Bay. You know, I mean, you really are. I mean, from the I Got 5 on, even the Timex Social Club. I mean, you know, I know that was a very dark era and the way it all kind of came together, but you know that people know that about you. You know, like people
proud of that.
People know that about you, and I knew there was some conflict in the midst of all of that, and people should definitely know that's some Bay shit. You know what I mean? That's some Bay shit. So we're gonna roll out with another song you sent me. Who is He My Story? That's what it says on the track title. Do you want to?
In 4 minutes.
Yeah. So we're gonna roll out with that, man. That's gonna be the final thing that we do here. Thank you for your time.
Have me on, man. Thanks for the time, and hope the listeners look me up. If you got questions, send them to your boy Sly. The next time I come on, I'll try to answer them.
All right, there it is, man. Mike Meeezy, Mike Marshall, Farmer. I like that. Ooh, we got a little 8-bar intro right there, Mike.
My name is Michael Marshall.
All right, man.
A.K.A. Mike Meeezy. And what I'm going to do right now is tell you a little bit about me. Because everywhere I go, somewhere in the cut, somebody's asking, who is he? Who is he? Who is he? Tell me, who is he? Who is he? Stop spreading those rumors around. I was when I was a baby. I sang in the church, up in the choir. Music was my only desire. I used to sneak and listen to the radio, cause the preacher said that it was for the devil's fault. Ooh, time went on and I got older, but the sad part is I never got over that lie. Who is he? Who is he? Tell me. Who is he? Who is he? Stop spreading those rumors around. I was the first to fall. Us and mama lived in a rundown 2-room apartment. Being the oldest fell on me. 10 years old with a family. Mama didn't know what that do to me. If it wasn't for weed, I'd hurt somebody. Got my first kiss when I was 16. Never looked back, if you know what I mean. Up till then, I was a square. Bullied my whole life, walking around scared. My best friend Gene told me what to do. He said, punch him in the mouth and make him respect you. Who is he? Who is he? Who is he? Tell me. Who is he? Who is he? Stop spreading those rumors around. Well, I got into music, then wrote a hit song. Me and Marcus, but it didn't take long. Didn't know business, things got ignorant. Representation is where we went wrong. Well, I never got the money that was due to me. Got food by Natty Prep, Jay and Lou. They say think I learned, but I didn't. I got 5 on it, the same old shiznit. Fucking with gangsters, nothing on paper. Don't know my own worth, now I'm getting bitter. Now I dropped the self-esteem inside of me, so I started getting high, I was trying to kill me. Who is he? Who is he? Who is he? Tell me. Who is he? Who is he? Stop spreading those rumors around. You'd catch me hiding, somewhere sliding, ever so closer to my bottom. Late night prowling, laying in wait, hoping to see that nigga CNA. With revenge on my mind and a gun in my hand, crack in my system, I was a madman. Married with kids now, I'm feeling better. 2 hard years, clean and sober, loving my life, self-esteem. So I'm right back at it, man, back in my dreams. 25 years, 4 hits, what more can I say? Hands down, I'm the soul of the band. Who is he? Who is he? Who is he?